So this is just a real quick video about a temporary scaffold I built. This is not intended to be permanent, not intended to last forever, but it has lasted me for several months. I've been using this to redo my patio ceiling. We have a covered porch, 12 by 16. As you can see, I've done tongue and groove, trimmed everything out, and this sits up, by the way, about 3 inches underneath the actual ceiling. Or the roof I should say, which is just chipboard OSB to make it look nicer. But to get up there, trying to do this with a ladder is like, forget it. So I built this scaffold. As you can see, it's 6 feet long by, the posts are 6 feet tall, or the corners, and it's measuring about 23 inches wide, and that's just to give me a little wiggle room. This took me, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9 2x4s. The 2x4x8s. The 8-footers, I cut off, of course, the 2 feet, and those 2 feet were used for this sled, or this platform, I should say. The platform is just 2x4, 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 measured with OSB on top. I didn't bother with anything fancy as far as screws though. I just screwed them in the end because when I put it together, it's going to be solid enough. I do cross pieces on the sides because to try to keep it from shifting this way and that way, which it will tend to do, I just put cross pieces in, and that's just OSB cut. I literally just cut strips 6 inches, put it on, put a couple of screws in each side, a couple of screws in the bottom, and then I just took a jigsaw or a sawzall, either way, and just cut the end off. So I didn't have to worry about the exact angle and measuring, whatever, because it really didn't matter. They're just there for braces. So put those across. Did the same thing, and then, of course, screwed them together in the center. Put a couple of screws in here to hold there. On the ends, I just put one piece across one side because that's all the OSB I had left. You could have done 2 pieces, probably would have worked just fine. But I did one piece in this direction, and on the other side in a different direction. Same thing, just kind of cut them off. And on the other side, which will walk over here, I just use furring strips instead of OSB because that's what I had. I bought furring strips to use to attach my tongue and groove to the side of my rafters. 1x3 furring strips, so I had some left over that were a little bit beat up, that were in worse shape than the others, so I used them for cross braces here. And then I also found that I had a problem with the whole thing wanting to go this way, shift this way some, so I put braces across the bottom as well. Just screwed them in and screwed the centers in. This made this whole thing really, really stiff. Worked very, very well. I mean, I'm a little over 200 pounds and I'm up on this thing with no problem. Just use a ladder to get up on it, a step ladder. One thing I did, because I wanted to make it where I could get to adjust the height for me to stand, so I could get to the bottom as well as the top of the ceiling easily. I made this thing adjustable, and I just kind of roughed the, sorry for the moving here, but I'm trying to get my tape measure out. I kind of roughed the height, so this is no scientific measurement, but I decided on about 4 foot to here, and then this was another, I want to say about another foot up. Yeah, about 10 inches up actually, just because of the height that I was working with on the ceiling. So this whole piece here, I just have to move it. I literally slide this out, take that end, drop it, slide it forward till this end clears, drop it, slide it back. And that way I can have it on where it is now, or if I do it up top, you know, I just move it back, angled, pick that end up, pop it up on top, slide it all the way forward, and then slide it back on top of this so it just sits here. It doesn't have to be secured down. It's not going anywhere. This is a fairly level concrete patio, so it wasn't necessary for me to fasten this on. It's perfectly fine that it moves. And actually that worked out nice too, because I could kind of adjust if I want a little area for tools here, to put stuff here, how close to the sides to my wall here, or rafters and whatever the joist that I'm working with here. Not rafters, but joists. How close I wanted to get to slide this thing. And I'm literally just grabbing it, sliding it around. So it's worked really well. It's an idea you can use. Like I said, I wasn't intending for it to be permanent, and I'm going to take it apart and reuse this lumber for another project. But instead of spending $250 on a metal scaffold, I just went ahead and spent this. It cost me maybe 40 bucks tops, if that, to make. So this top piece for support has double up 2x screwed in the ends, screwed in here, and that's plenty good enough to hold my weight. No problem. Same thing here. I just end screwed them in, screw this piece in, so I have two things holding this, 2 points of contact, or I guess 2 supports I should say. A piece going across, screwed in this piece, and that's plenty sturdy. I could literally jump up and down this thing. It's not going anywhere. So maybe this is something that'll give you an idea if you get to working on a project, that you can make something like this. The sled, I guess I should say, is 8 feet long, this here. So that gives me a little over a foot overhang. So, sometimes you like showing something while you're building it, but I think in this case it worked better to me to just go ahead and show it after the fact. And then of course, like I said, for the sled here, I have 2x4 supports going across here. I found this is plenty strong enough with a single 2x4 when it's up on this top level. I don't need any other supports. I just don't need it. I mean, I could have gone across with another support if I wanted to, like I'd done here. But I just found I just simply didn't need it. It was plenty strong enough as it was to hold my weight, no problem. So maybe this will give you some ideas if you get into doing some kind of project, like these crazy projects like I do. Trying to do a ceiling like this on a ladder, forget it. Just forget it. This provided a nice, safe, stable platform for me to do my work up here. Not to mention it saves your back a lot of grief versus standing on a ladder for hours and hours and hours. Well, maybe this will help someone. Thanks for watching.